How to avoid speaking Chinglish when you learn English language. Speaking Chinglish among Chinese people are very often seen. Trying to speak in English perfect grammar is not an easy task for Chinese people. What is Chinglish? Chinglish is characterized by speaking English according to Chinese habits. For example, you can directly translate your own Chinese syntax into English. This literal translation is usually not in line with English language habits, therefore, it makes native English speakers hard to understand what you are trying to express. Example of Chinglish. Let me give you a few examples. Chinese often say you can come to me if something happens. Many Chinese people will directly translate this sentence into English, you can find me, but the meaning of find me in English is the same as in Chinese. The difference is that they don't have the meaning of seeing someone and asking for help. A better translation method is you can come and see me, but Americans are more used to saying you can shoot me a message, give me a call, when you feel like talking to someone, pay me a visit, and so on. Another example is I very like it, I like it very much. The correct way to say it should be I like it very much. Another example is that many Chinese do not pronounce the sound of th in English, because there is no gnawing sound in Chinese. Why Chinglish exists? Cultural factors can also cause language differences. For example, Americans will say you can drop by my place when inviting others, but in Chinese culture, if you say you can drop by my place when you invite someone, it will appear it is very insincere and rude. It is sincere to say, you must come, not see or leave. Our English education has also made a very positive contribution to Chinglish. When Chinese people go to the United States, they tend to reflexively say fine, thanks, and you when people ask how are you. This answer is a bit scary, to be honest. In fact, when Americans ask how are you, they often mean greetings. They don't expect your answer, or even a rhetorical question. Americans will simply answer good, and many people will reply with how are you. How to avoid and correct the habit of Chinglish. Listen to and read more language materials produced by native speakers, and if possible, reduce the use of your native language for a period of time. When Chinese people learn English at school, they used to learn grammar and vocabularies. They did not have much practice on oral or listening. To speak better the language, first of all, you must increase your chances of contacting the language, and secondly, the material must be authentic, true, and in line with English usage habits. Many people think, I have mastered the grammar of English and the vocabulary in English, so I will be able to piece together an English sentence through logical thinking. This idea is very wrong. The mechanism of language learning is to form language feelings and habits through imitation, rather than rational analysis and reconstruction. Speaking academically, your brain will subconsciously extract commonalities in the language information you come into contact with, and form an internal grammar in your brain. It's different from the grammar you learned in the textbook, the scientific name inner grammar, and express it when you need to re-extract this inner grammar, when the meaning is similar. Well, the academic words are over. Then someone might think, I can't read the original English at my current level? It doesn't matter, there are a lot of graded reading and listening materials. How to accumulate vocabulary? Not enough. Unless you have to take an exam, don't memorize vocabulary books. When you come across new words in a lot of reading, go to scallops and add them to your vocabulary book. Review these words over and over again. In this way, reading, listening, language habits, and new words are all solved with one vote. Remember, imitate, don't translate. When many people express something in English, they like to subconsciously think about how to say it in Chinese, and then think about how to translate this Chinese sentence in English. This is a very bad habit. If you get rid of this habit, you will immediately find that your spoken English is much easier. If you compare carefully, you will find that it is faster and easier to think directly about how to say in English than to translate from Chinese into English. Moreover, when translating from Chinese to English in this way, it is extremely easy to produce various Chinese English errors. So when you have a certain amount of reading and listening power, boldly think directly in English. Thinking in English is actually not very difficult. Finally, is Chinglish bad? To tell you clearly, unless you plan to be an interpreter for an international conference, or go to the United States as a radio DJ, or your Chinese English habits are so bad that others can't understand you, speaking Chinese English doesn't really matter, as long as you speak confidently, resolute, courageous, and logically clear. Mr. Scallop once saw an elder brother speaking standard Chinese English at an academic seminar, conquering all sitting Americans with his fast speech, clear logic, and firm eyes. You only need to avoid some 2 basic Chinglish mistakes, as long as you can let others understand what you mean without listening to you being too uncomfortable.